Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are at. Thank you so much for attending our event today, which is Cold Emailing Strategy with my man, Jeff. Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Jacob. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking. Super excited, as
I
always.
appreciate having you, man. Dude, every time that we talk, every time we have an event, it's always good. I got such great feedback the last time we did an event as well and was told that our energy was great. So I'm super excited. I know we're pressed for time, and for whoever's tuning in right now, this is going to be a hard stop at 12:30. So I want to go in and I want to provide as much value as we possibly can to everyone watching. So, Jeff, why don't you get started? I know that you do cold email. I do cold email. A bunch of people do cold email. And I think it's often overlooked where a lot of people try the spray and pray type of method or just have a lot of questions. They don't put a whole lot of effort into it. They don't think it works, whatever the case might be. I want your thoughts on how important cold email has been to you in scaling your agency.
Yeah, so I've been in sales for a while, and a lot of folks will say over here, "Oh, cold email is dead. Cold email is dead." Yeah, cold email is dead if you don't have a precise, targeted strategy. And the numbers show email campaigns, email newsletters, they work. So just because they're not working for you or a said group of people, we can't just conclude and say email campaigns don't work. They do. And as much as I love social, LinkedIn is my bread and butter. It's where they see me, my face, videos. They get to see not just the work, but there is that human to human factor, which is great. But I think an effective scaling methodology for any business, and in this case, agencies, email is one of them, right? We can't
Yeah.
neglect email, right? So if your audience is, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and other places, great, do it. But email does work. Email does work because I've seen it work.
Mhm.
Whether you're manually typing out those emails and sending them out and getting responses or blasting them out, they do work. So it's really important because one, I've learned that even though I may connect with someone on LinkedIn, someone may connect with me. Hey, they accept your connection request. Not everybody is like me and you, Jacob, where they're super active on the LinkedIn platform.
Mhm.
And an email is their email. So no matter where they are, that's how you can reach them.
Yeah.
And not everybody's super active on social. So what's the next best thing? Email. And another reason for this is because with CRMs, or that's your unique identifier, right? Is their email.
Right.
But point blank, using data, not from me, other greats that have done email campaigns, they have data that this stuff does convert. So it's just really important. And this is what we're going to focus on today.
Mhm.
Jacob is going to give his good, bad, and ugly reviews, more on the bad and the ugly of the email campaign that I put together. Um, so, yeah, that's a little bit about my thoughts on email campaigns and why I think they're important.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. And I want to pick up, it does work. And we're talking about today. We're not talking about yesterday. We're not talking about 6 months ago. It's working today. A lot of people want to often reference cold email as saturated, but I look at any market. And if you're using the word saturated and you don't want to pursue a saturated market, it's because you're being like everyone else. You're sending emails like everyone else. You're using the same language, the same openers, the same CTAs, same everything. So if you want to stand out and not be quote unquote saturated, switch up your method. Use data to decide, why is this not working? Why is this working? What can I do to improve this? So, talking about critiquing your cold email, let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm super excited to actually get in and learn a little bit more about what you have going on here. And so, you are using, before we even jump in, you're using a 4 email sequence right now, right? So, you've got email one, email two, email three, email four. At what point are you kind of using your follow ups, your touch points when connecting with clients?
Well, this is a cold email outreach, so this is designed
Correct.
for people that I have not necessarily yet connected with on LinkedIn. And
Hmm.
just to give a little bit further context as to the angle for this, a little bit about me is I offer virtual video testimonial services where all my clients have to do is introduce me to their clients and I take care of everything else. So something that I'm leaning on is the pain point of hiring local videographers. I'm not hating on local videographers. I've worked with them. They're great. There's a time and place for it. But in terms of speed, in terms of agility, and companies that want to get testimonials out fast, local videographers, it's expensive. It's, 5K, 8K, 10K plus. You got to typically wait at least a month to get those edited, final edit versions. And that's just for one video testimonial, right?
Yeah.
So with me, it's a lot faster. It's a lot more agile. Right now, it's 500 US per client. And again, all my clients have to do is introduce me to their clients. And I literally take care of everything else, right? They don't even have to
Mhm.
tell me about the background or whatever. So that's a little bit of context as to this service. So this email campaign that I'm doing is specifically targeted for
Mhm.
video testimonial services. Now, I don't only offer video testimonial services, but it's one of my core services right now that is gaining some traction. And I know that this is a gap in the market. My clients that I've already worked with since starting my business last summer have confirmed with me that, yes, Jeff, this is valuable. What you're doing for us is great. We want to continue pay. I want to refer you, which were motivators for me, right? As you said, using data. I'm using data from my prospects, from my clients that said, yes, this is great. You should definitely keep pushing this. So
Yeah.
that's a little bit of context for that.
Okay, cool, perfect. And then with these emails, obviously you've got one, two, three, and four. And I assume that if one doesn't convert, you follow up with two, and then you follow up with three, and then you follow up with four, and then you stop whenever they do respond to your email. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. So when I have a response, whether that's apart from an out of office reply, any good
Uh-huh.
CRM tool that can track an automated out of office reply, it's not a legit reply. It's just automated.
Right.
So the sequence will keep going. But yeah, for this, I'm just thinking of maybe spread over 2 weeks. So, email
Okay.
one goes out, they don't answer. Yeah, keeps going out, keeps going out until they reply to me saying, yeah, no, not interested, or hey, tell me more. Right. And
Okay.
then when that happens, that's a different, then I go into now a personalized approach depending on what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is the flow, and my goal is to put together 1,000 contacts
Mm-hmm.
where I have a virtual assistant that is going to scan these websites, and you're going to see when I show the first email on what that particular strategy is.
Okay, cool. And I have a question for you. I'm actually curious, and I don't know if you have access to this data or not, but where are you seeing the most amount of responses, whether it's positive or negative, in your sequence? Is it email one, email two, three, four?
That's a good question. I would say the first one, and I've been doing this mostly on LinkedIn. I have been doing some email, but I haven't yet blasted it out. The like my huge blast, which I'm going to get a good sample size of data. But I would say it's number one, the first email that states their client from their website. Because what I do is I go on their website and I
Mm-hmm.
look for written testimonials, especially like boring, vague ones that are like, oh, this client helped us, they were really professional and they increased our engagement. It's like, it doesn't really
Right.
say much, right? It's not captivating. So what I
Mm-hmm.
do is, if you want me to show you,
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me
Go
open
ahead.
let me open email one here, folks. So let me
Yep.
zoom in a
Let's
bit
jump
so
in.
everybody can see. So email one, you'll notice the subject line, company names, testimonial. Let me actually here testimonial with company names, and you'll see here company name testimonial. Um, Let me just kind of explain this so people can take the meaning of it. Meaning, I'm going to the company name is the name of the company that I'm reaching out to. So let's say I'm reaching out to you, Jacob, right? At
Mm-hmm.
Furlough, let's say, right? It will say Furlough's testimonial with, and then I'll take the name of your client or Furlough's client customers
Mm-hmm.
that have left a written testimonial, so that if I'm sending this to you and you work with that client, chances are you're going to see the subject line and be like, oh yeah, I know who that is. It's gonna right. It's gonna kind of strike a chord with you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the strategy behind the subject line.
Okay. So subject line, I think, is great. It's going to someone can identify that, someone can read it,
Yep.
and it'll mostly, if not fully, appear without being cut off. So I like it.
Yeah, this actually looks a little longer just because of how
Mm-hmm.
HubSpot's just how I have my tag set up.
Hmm.
But yes, it actually isn't too long. It does fit in nicely.
Perfect. All right, let's get to the meat. Let's get to
Yeah.
the meat, baby.
All right. So here we go. And then yeah, I want your honest, constructive criticism here. So I sort of start
Okay.
off with hey name or name, hi name. I studied your website. I noticed that you've got some written testimonials, particularly with, and then I reaffirm same one that I mentioned in the subject line,
Uh huh.
but I put their full name, right? So Joe Schmo with company ABC, right? And
Okay.
then but I didn't see a video version of that testimonial.
Okay. So let's stop here.
Yeah.
First line. I like what you're doing. However, I think with so you get and correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's like either the first 40 or 50 characters show up on an email without clicking into it first.
Oh, you're right. That's a good point. Yes.
So I studied your website and noticed that you've got is a such a common phrase for people to use in cold email.
Mm,
It's very repetitive, right? So how you could switch that up is I would actually probably take out that first line and I would say
yep.
something along the lines of um, saw your testimony with name their company and name. So then they're going to be more likely to actually click through on that email and
I
be a
see.
little bit curious about, like, okay, they saw the testimony with this specific person. What are they asking about? What are they inquiring to me about?
Right. 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 It's kind of like getting more straight to the point.
Exactly, because that's real estate, right? When you're in someone's inbox and they're getting
Yep.
cold emails and it's email after email, that's real estate that you have to use. So I think that this is great and it also shortens it a little bit. So saw your testimonial with this person from company, but I didn't see a video version of that testimonial. Okay, great. I think that that's great. Now let's move on to the next spot.
Yeah. Then planting seeds here of hey, why is this relevant? Why maybe this be important to you? And I give
Hmm.
some conversion stats on or the value of having video testimonials, let's say on their website. So I pulled this from different sources. So two out of three
Hmm.
people would be more likely to buy something after seeing a video testimonial from a previous customer. And 77% of those who have seen a testimonial video about a product or service say that it has motivated them to make a purchase.
So I like what you're doing here. I like the information and I like the data. I want to throw something at you and I
Mhm.
want to see what you think of it, right? Because I think that this is great. So, what I'm curious to know is if you could kind of summarize it into one sentence, because my thought process is that the shorter the email, the more effective. If I open up an email and let's just say that it's maybe 7, 8, 9 lines, I may be less likely to want to actually read the entirety of the email rather than it being kind of like 4 lines. Like I leave all my emails at maybe four, like five absolute tops. So, for example, you're pointing out really valuable data, and you're kind of aggravating the pain point that they have by not having the video testimony, and then you're sharing information with them that 2 out of 3 people will be more likely to buy something. 77% of those people saw that or said that a video testimony has been able to motivate them to purchase. So, what if we said something? And I'm going to have to type this out real quick before you delete it. But what if we said something like, um, out of the, or you could say like you're missing out on,
You may be missing out on website conversions
yes,
as 77% of like I'll just maybe delete this one,
exactly. So
you
you
know.
may be missing out on additional conversions because 2 out of 3 people purchase off of video testimonies, and 77% of those people say that the video actually promised that or prompted them to purchase. So we're kind of condensing the information a little bit, but we're also presenting it more as like a not like a did you know, but it's more of like a hey, you're actually missing out on this. This is a real problem that you have.
Yeah, no, I love it. Makes total sense. This is why I hopped on the on the call with you, right? To get this third
I'm curious to
person.
know what
Yeah,
the results are going to be.
yeah. Me too, man. Me too. Okay, cool. So that's good. Then what I do is, sorry, you ready to move on to the next part?
Yes. Yeah. Let's go.
So then I took a page out of your book, which is providing some value. So I don't
Hmm.
want to ask them for a call, meeting, discuss. No, I want to say, hey, I put together a blueprint on how to transform written testimonials into engaging, captivating, and converting video testimonials without requiring local videographers to visit your client's office. Maybe exclamation mark here or something. Would you like me to send it to you? It is in the form of a short form video of less than 60 seconds.
Okay. I love it. So I put together a blueprint on how to transform written testimonials. I think that's a really valuable thing, kind of like when you want to send it over. Now, the CTA, let's go straight into the CTA because I actually really like what you've put together there. So would you like me to send it to you? It is in this form, or it is in the form of a short video less than 60 seconds. So would you like me to? It's much easier, and I want everyone out there that's watching this to realize it. It's much easier for someone to say no than it is yes.
Mm,
So let's reframe that question.
yes.
Would you be opposed to me sending over a 60-second video showing you how, or show, or going over this blueprint, showing you how you can, achieve this? So if you say, well, like, no, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed. It's going to be easier for
Hmm.
them to say no again instead of yes. This CTA, the would you be opposed, has been working out for me like insanely well. And I actually got this out of, if anyone's curious, I got this out of Chris Voss's book, Never Split the Difference.
I actually came across a video not long ago. I can't remember if it was Chris, but anyway, this and they that's a piece that they learned is just rewording how you ask, right? And that brilliant. I
Yes.
love it. Thank you, man. Thank you. This is great.
Awesome. Cool. Perfect. I love this email.
Nice. All right. So update existing template. Great. Let's go on to email two.
Let's do it.
All right, email two. Well, let's assume. So if they were to say, yes, send it to me, I'd send them the blueprint. But let's say we're assuming here that they're not answering. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. And actually, I have an idea here, which I've had success with in the past from other companies I've worked with. I can either make the subject line video testimonial blueprint or re and then take the same subject last time with the testimonial with, because the previous subject line I'm noticing quite a bit of opens.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
I like the because I'm going to
yeah.
tell you why. If there's even if they haven't responded to the conversation, indirectly, it's making them think that they're involved with it.
I'll just work at this after, but yes, yeah, I agree with you. Cool. So then I jump into this. The trick to creating lasting and memorable video testimonials is to get your clients to simply have a conversation about their experience. There are four key categories: background, what motivated your clients to look for a solution; challenges, what specific challenges was your client experiencing; and then I give a little pro tip. Make sure to dive deeper and ask, how were those challenges negatively impacting the business and why was it so important to solve those challenges? So I'm giving them like a little bit of value here.
Mm-hmm.
Solutions. What solutions were put in place to solve those challenges? And then I want to kind of tease them. And four, results. Arguably the most important part. I go into more detail in the video link below, including key questions to ask for each category to increase the conversion factor for your video testimonials.
Okay, so are you actually sending over a video at this point?
Yes, actually, what you don't see here, there will be a video link in here as with the video player that provides that. Yes.
Okay, so there's a couple of things. I'm 50-50 on this because I like how you're sending value. You're kind of educating them on
Yep.
why this is important. Number one is I don't encourage ever embedding links, images, videos, anything into an email because your deliverability rate drops drastically, especially if you've never been in communication with these people before. Spam filters like Jellyfish, Mimecast, stuff like that will pick up when you're embedding stuff into an email. And so you're increasing the chances of that email actually not being delivered to their inbox. So I try to never put any links or images, even if it's in a signature. I try to not even include an image in a signature. And you will
Mm,
notice that your deliverability rates will skyrocket. And I can actually back this up because I know someone who is doing video outreach where they had AI create a custom image or a custom thumbnail and it made it look very personal. And it was actually super neat and it looked very realistic. They removed that out of their email. They got 3x better results on deliverability just by deleting an image.
You know what's interesting you say about that, and so providing video services, encourage people
Right.
to use video. Now, I yes, the first email with practically any video embedded will go to spam.
Mm-hmm.
And depending, but anyway, the video hosting sales tool I'm using, it's called Dub. That's why I always send in the second or third email, and that way it won't go to spam. However, to your
Interesting.
points, yes, and I trust what you're saying. You do this for a living. This is your specialty. You're right. Images, any kind of extra links in there,
Even
especially if
even
you don't.
keywords, even
Oh,
keywords like sale or discount
mm,
or anything or promotion. Like there's certain keywords that will actually get triggered. I experience this all the time. I can show you my on all the instantlies that I run. There's a list of keywords that get blocked, and I always try to actually make note of what that keyword was that got blocked.
okay, okay. Interesting. So then, am I getting it here? So then, should I then just offer it in writing,
So
like
what
I
I
did
would do
last
is,
time?
I would condense it and I would say, "Hey, I made a video going over what was the first one? The okay." So again, take out the kind of like the fluff in the beginning, like the trick to creating lasting memories, because again, that's going to be the first thing that appears in the inbox. So I would say I put together a video for you, or I have a video for you that goes over the background, challenges, solutions, and results that companies like yourself. And if you want to be super, super personal, if anyone out there has the ability of looking at that or doing this, put a competitor of theirs in that
Mm,
line. So you could say you could stand out from competitors like XYZ. And when they read that, they're going to be like, yeah, I do want to stand out from my competitor. That's a buddy, or that's a method that one of my buddies, Jay, taught me. Using the
nice.
competitor name is actually very, very, very useful.
Mm, cool. Awesome. All right. I'm going to update this and tweak it later. Let's jump to email 3.
Let's do it.
This may be too long, but anyway, this is why I'm here with you.
Oh, I'm about
Okay.
to rip it apart. It looks like
Oh
an
god,
essay.
okay. So now this one actually I've gotten a lot of, like, when I supply this to particular those that have shown some interest, and they're
Hmm.
like, yeah, okay, this is interesting. But I tell them, well, hey, a prereq as good as my video testimonial services may be, I need your clients to say yes, right?
Yes.
So here, basically, this email goes through. Um, yeah, this is way too long. It basically goes through how they can approach their clients asking for video testimonials to increase the chances of their clients saying yes.
So take this. I like the subject line, the how to ask, because it might
Yeah.
strike curiosity of like, oh, like, yeah, how do we ask our clients for this? If I were you, I would literally type it out and say, this is the strategy that our clients use. And then do literally like the side arrow. I don't know what you call it, like above the period on your
Yeah,
keyboard.
yeah, yeah. So here, this is the strategy that my clients use.
And then delete that and then put it below that text.
You mean this part?
No. So keep that sentence, but the little arrow, put it
Yep.
below that. Like
Oh,
make a separate line. Yep. And then put step like super simple, like step one, like send email to clients or something
yeah.
like that. Whatever your strategy is.
Actually, I have a template that specifically goes step 1, step 2, step 3. That's super short. So yeah,
Okay, that's perfect then. And then just put that, and then your CTA would say, mind if I show you more about how to stand out from competitors since you mentioned competitor in the last email, or mind if I show you more about XYZ, whatever? Or would you be opposed to looking at a strategy I have for you?
nice, amazing,
Awesome. Perfect.
cool. And then email
And
4.
last but not least.
So now this is my offer.
Okay.
Um, so I have in the subject line what company names video testimonials can look like. I'm open to other suggestions. Or I was also thinking like video testimonials without the hassles of video. Anyway,
Let me
so
ask
anyhow,
you
yeah,
something. Just out of curiosity, how long does it take for you to fulfill just one video testimony? Like, how much of your time, how much of your company's time and resources?
it takes me about, I would say, 2 hours. Yeah, it takes me about a couple hours.
Okay, I'm throwing this out there. Not saying that you have to do this or not. What if you just said, "Would you mind connecting me with one of your clients so we could do a free so I could show you one free video testimony for you?"
Mm,
And you just get them engaged, and you're just literally giving them a video for free. You get them engaged because that one video, if that converts, then you're talking about an entire relationship with them, and you can upsell them on three, four, five other videos. But that's if you're willing to commit that, right?
yeah,
So, like us for our agency, we give out free audits and free strategies. Like we'll go through and we'll look at the entire system for free, and we'll give them a really in-depth analysis. We just give it away, and it takes us hours of our time to do that. However, if they convert,
yeah,
the juice was well worth the squeeze. If the juice
yeah.
is not worth the squeeze for you, definitely don't do that. But instead of throwing like a Hail Mary where like this kind of looks like a pitch to them,
Mm-hmm.
I would just say, "Hey, how about I just give you something for free? You know? How about I just give this to you?"
Yeah, another option actually is sometimes my prospects often have videos on their YouTube or website,
Yeah.
but they're crap. They're like either too long or they're just not they're just not optimized, right? For top of
Mhm.
funnel conversions. So another angle could be I could go with this, or I could say if you send me a video that you already produced, I'll rework it so that it's optimized for conversions on your
Yeah,
website.
just say,
Yeah.
I'll chop it up and I'll edit it so it's optimized for your website."
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll send it over to you.
Cool.
So I think that's great. I know that you have to go. So I want to go ahead and wrap it up. Jeff, I just really
Yeah.
want to thank you for your time today. I think that this was awesome. And for anyone else out there viewing, go ahead and check out Jeff if your company is looking for video testimonies. And if you have any other questions about cold email, feel free to message me. I'm more than happy to help. Jeff, do you have any last words?
I just thank you, man. You just provided me with insight that I didn't think of. So I'm going to tweak my campaign. I'm going
For
to
sure,
fire
man.
these off, and then in a couple of months we will come back and I will share the results.
All right, buddy. Can't wait, man. Thank you
All
again
right.
for your time. I appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for attending.